Hi there, I'm Cathi Barker from Software Solutions, and you're looking at a video that is part of a collection of videos that go with my Essentials course, Level 1 course. Now this video I want to look at ways that we can move around a spreadsheet quickly and easily. I've opened up the Excel 1 file that comes with your course notes and accompanies the Level 1 course. I want to save it straight away as my first name, and I'll get you to do the same. So I'm going to click the Save As button, or notice when I rest on it, you can press F12. So in an earlier video, we added this button to our Quick Access toolbar. Press F12 or click this button and save this as your first name. So I'm just going to call it Cathi. I'm going to put it on the desktop, and I'm just saving it as an Excel workbook and save. All right. Now, another thing I also mentioned in an earlier video, I think it was video 2, autosave. We were talking about the difference between save and save as and autosave the cloud, but also autosave the every 10 minutes autosave. What that's about is when you go to File and you go to Options, you can ask Excel in this Save section to save information every 10 minutes. And that's where that's coming from. So what if some time has passed now and I want to go and look at this file 10 minutes ago or longer? If you have deleted a sheet or you've mucked up something and you need to go back to an earlier copy of the file, you can use the autosave feature. You can go to File, you can go to Info, and there'll be an autosave if one has transpired. Now there isn't one for this file because I haven't had it open long enough, but we also have another file open called Schedule, which we created in the third video. So I'm going to look at File and Info for this file. And this file does have an autosave that was done at 10:48. So at 10:48, it did an automatic save, and every 10 minutes of work, it will then create more and more autosave files. And if I click this file, I can open it, and you can see on my title bar here, this is the 10:48 file created on the 28th of December. So that's how it looked at that point in time, and I can close it and go back to what it looks like in this point in time. But it is important to be able to, in Word or Excel, if you have deleted something or changed something and you want to get back to an earlier version of the file and you didn't create an earlier version, so you can lean on the autosave for that. Just by going to File and going to Info and opening up from here, and then if there was something in here that you wanted, you could copy it, go back to the other file, and you could paste it, that sort of thing. That's autosave. Okay, so let's look at moving around a spreadsheet. I'm just going to go back to the file with my first name, and I'm sitting in the sheet called Products. I might even just hold the Control key and wheel forward just to zoom in a little bit. And we discussed that in an earlier video as well. So do go back to the earlier videos. They sort of build on each other and flow. If I have a list in Excel and I'm sitting in A1 and I think, how long is this list? It's really sad to watch somebody go shooing on their mouse and scroll down to the bottom. The control arrow keys I mentioned in video 1. If you hold the control key and hit the down arrow, you will actually go to the bottom of the list, which tells me there's 77 products and 78 rows of data. If I go control up arrow, I go to the top, control down arrow, I go to the bottom. Now, if I think, is there more information under row 78, I'll go control down arrow one more time. And this actually throws me to the very bottom of the spreadsheet. So you don't have to scroll right back up to the top again. That would literally take you quite a while because you're in row 1,000,000. Control up arrow and control up arrow again. Control arrow key jumps into when it hits data. So if I control right arrow, it jumps to the end of the list. And then I think, is there another list out to the right somewhere? So I hit control right arrow again. I don't. I hit the extremity, XFD, which means there's nothing going on between XFD and F. Control right arrow, control left arrow, and left arrow one more time. So if I'm sitting here at unit price and I want to go to the bottom, I just go Control down arrow, and if I want to go to the top, I go Control up arrow. Try to use your Control arrow keys. They're absolutely brilliant. Now, what if you don't only want to go to the bottom of that list, you want to select to the bottom? So Control down arrow goes down and Control up arrow goes up. But if you go Control Shift down arrow, you will select to the bottom of that list. So the Shift key is how you select. Let me just hit the up arrow and let's explore that. If I go down like this, one arrow at a time, that's just the down arrow. If I go Shift down arrow, I don't only go down one cell at a time, I start selecting one cell at a time. But if I want to leap to the bottom, Control down arrow and hold the Shift, then I'll leap to the bottom and select. So practice using the Shift key with your arrow keys and your Control Shift down arrows. Now the other thing is Control A. If you want to select all the data that you're sitting in, so you have to be sitting in it, Control A. Control A is a quick way to select all the data that you're sitting in without having to drag across and drag down. If I want to unselect, I can just click with my mouse, or I can just hit the down arrow and I've unselected it all. So Control A, down arrow. Shift down arrow, or Control Shift down arrow. Those sorts of things. And then just arrow again. Practice. Now something else that's useful is sometimes when I ring somebody up and I say, look, the reason we're getting these wrong results is some of the prices are incorrect. So sometimes I need them to go to a particular cell really quickly. And Control G is go to. Whether you're in Word, whether you're in Project, whether you're in Access, whether you're in Excel, Control G is go to. So I'll press Control G and I might say, look, I need you to go to E63. So you just type E63. When you press enter, you literally have gone to E63. That can save you a lot of scrolling if you know exactly where you have to go. So I might say to you, look, that price, $49.30, should have been $50. So I change it to 50. Enter. Then I might say go Control G and go to E20. That price there, $9.20, should have been 10. So we change it to 10. Then I might say go Control G and go to E55. That price there, $7.45, should have been 17. Enter. So Control G is a quick way to go to a particular cell. And then there's another key combination which is super common and helpful, and that's Control Home. Not to be confused with Control H. Don't do Control H. Look on your keyboard. If you've got a big keyboard, the Home key is in this area here. If you've got a laptop, you might have to search for a little bit. But Control Home literally takes you to A1. Control Home, pretty much all Microsoft Office applications means go to the top. So Control Home to the top. You can go Control End, which is also in the same place as the Home key, Home End. That will diagonally take you to the last cell worked on. So it's diagonally taken me to F78, and Control Home will diagonally take me back to A1. So those are some of the useful keys as well, besides just page down, page up, and the arrow keys. The other thing I need to show you is the enter key. Okay, let's go over here. Typically, when you press enter, it goes down. Shift enter goes up. But me personally, I like it that my enter key doesn't move at all. When I press enter, I want it to stay in that cell. And I need a key to do that, and so I want to use enter for that. If I want to go down, I'll hit the down arrow. But if I want to stay there, I want to press enter. So I have to go into File, and I have to go into Options. And it's an advanced setting. When I go to Advanced, it's the very first setting here. After you press enter, it moves you down. Some people make it whenever you press enter, it goes to the right. If someone's annoying you, make it that whenever they press enter, it goes up. That'll keep them out of your hair for a while. Or if I put it back to down, I can say after pressing enter, don't move at all by taking that tick off. So if I go okay now, whenever I press enter, it doesn't go down. So you need to find what works for you. Just like video 1 when we talked about customizing the screen and getting it working for you, what theme you liked, etc. You need to decide as well, what do you want the enter key to do? I'm going to put mine back to the default where it goes down, even though I prefer it not to, just so that the videos make sense to most people. So I'm going to go back to File, back to Options. I'm going to choose Advanced, and I'm going to turn this tick back on. After pressing enter, move it down, and OK. And so now it goes down. So if you want to customize your enter key or anybody's enter key, you can do in File and Options. Those are some of the moving around keys. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Hit like, hit subscribe. I really would appreciate it to know that I'm doing good stuff. Come back for the next video and let me show you what else you can do with Excel.